Well, Amazon earnings just hitting the wire with earnings coming in at 65 cents, beating the 35-cent a share estimate. Revenue, a beat coming in at $134.38 billion. The estimate at $131.63 billion. Sales guidance also beating expectations with third quarter range $138 billion to $143 billion. And we are seeing shares of Amazon pop on the back of that, up nearly 7%. Diane, when you think about what we've been watching with Amazon, AWS, a big one, especially on the back of what we heard from Microsoft as well as Alphabet about decelerating growth, companies sort of pulling back on spending. We did see AWS net sales, excluding FS there, coming in at 14% growth as opposed to a little weaker. That's subscription services. Sorry, AWS net sales coming in about 12% versus the 33% year-on-year estimate that was there. It's interesting to see also online store net sales there beating in $52.97 billion. So we're talking about 4% growth year-on-year. Versus the $52.45 billion that was coming in. A number of numbers to get through here, but really at the end of the day, the question going into the call is going to be, where does their AWS growth stand in terms of where things are moving at a time when we have seen a pullback? And then, of course, how are customers responding, especially on the e-commerce side of things, when we have seen discretionary spending go down, customers turn a little more cautious. What does that look like for Amazon?
Yeah, indeed. But the proof is in the pudding here. They've beat, and I know we have this conversation about, is the bar lower, and is it that it's easy to kind of jump over this bar? But there is strength in their beat that we're seeing. I mean, especially when you look at what both net sales. I mean, as you mentioned, the expectations were just over 131 billion coming into this, coming in at 134 billion. Net income 65 cents per diluted share. I mean, that was also better than expected. It just shows also just the strength of the consumer. The consumer has been one thing we've consistently talked about. Is the consumer weakening? Is the consumer weakening? And now we have these larger macro conversations about it doesn't look like it now. So there just shows by their numbers that there is strength there, and that AWS picture also showing stronger than we expected to see. Another thing that you and I and others talked about, and it doesn't show up in the numbers in this quarter, but this would be kind of in the third quarter, the Prime Day sale. They said that was its biggest day event. So we'll still be looking forward what they speak to in terms of guidance when they have their earnings call today.
Yes, certainly. And again, that stock up roughly 6% right now.